It's like apparently that was a natural nude guy or whatever it's called. That it's like apparently he's sort of like exposing the like the health industry and all that. But apparently he says that all these hoaxes and stuff are not like really like hoaxes. So that's an example of what the controlled opposition would be like. That they would not give you the whole truth. I suppose then again, it's like, well, we could all be wrong in some ways. But if you're a big channel or whatever, and you're big, you have influence over millions of people, then that's
Give me a minute. Hi, Rob. Tom Corner. Hi. How you doing? Just give it a minute. If anyone comes. Hi, X-Crate. How you doing? All right, I'm just gonna. Where are we? Hi, FPV Angel. How you doing? Welcome back, Sandra. Flat enough. Hi. Hi, Beyond. Usual suspects. I really enjoyed the meets on Saturday. Right, Brian Bronskevich. A good chat. Well, four people turned up. Good. Hi, Anima Animus. Be on for about an hour. About just after midnight. It's a school night, so we'll be in the morning. And Stephen Watson. Right. Flat Earth here doesn't subscribe to any map or model because we don't know where we are. It's just trying to find out where we are, basically. Hi, Jamie Brown. It's good to see you on Saturday. Thanks for coming over. Hi, Spirit of Longthorn. I've got P900 Cool Pics. Has done a design for a banner for Rebecca's Way and that, and for herself and that, and she's let me use her picture, and she's put some writing on it for me. She sent me the picture. I'm going to have a look in a bit and get that printed off, maybe. So, hello, Aeon Aton. How you doing? I'm trying to get comfortable here because I'm a bit. Oh. It's great to personally connect on that level with real people, Stephen. Yeah, it is. Hi, time out. You're losing your mind here. Why? Tamosaurus Rex. Really disturbs your life. It's strange. Maybe it's a bit dark. Might change lights over. Just gonna go and. Hi, Sandy 123. 1 minute. That's a bit better, I think. Yeah, we have a duty. Yep. Do as much as we can and try and help empower people to be able to see and discern for themselves. Yeah, surrounded by no one to talk to is not easy. You're right there, Tamo. It is. But no one to talk to. It's like you find yourself thinking to yourself all the time. And right. Just gonna show a couple of things. What is a syllogism? A syllogism is a rhetorical device that begins with a major statement known as a premise, narrows down to a minor statement or premise, and then arrives at a conclusion using deductive reasoning. The simplest way to explain how this works is by giving examples. Major premise, all men are mortal. Minor premise, Socrates is a man. So the conclusion is Socrates is mortal. This is an example of Aristotle's famous Barbara syllogism. Major premise, plants need 2 carbon dioxide to live. Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, apparently plants need carbon dioxide to live. The minor premise, the oak tree is a plant. The conclusion is the oak tree needs carbon dioxide to live. A compressed syllogism called an enthymeme combines the minor premise and conclusion. The major premise is implied. For instance, Socrates is mortal because he is a man. It is easy to commit a logical fallacy using syllogisms. Take a look at this example. Major premise, all women like to shop. Minor premise, John likes to shop. Conclusion, John is a woman. See? Leaving aside the questionable major premise that all women liked shopping, you cannot make a deduction based on this false logic. In order for a syllogism to work, the minor premise must be a valid category within the major premise, and both premises must be true. There are 256 types of categorical syllogism alone. Another type of syllogism that is ripe for syllogistic fallacy is a conditional syllogism. Major premise: if Lucinda smokes cigarettes every day, she increases her risk of lung cancer. The minor premise: Lucinda doesn't smoke cigarettes every day. Conclusion: Lucinda has no increased risk of lung cancer. This syllogism appears logical, but what if Lucinda's husband is a chain smoker? Syllogistic fallacy isn't just a failure of logic, it is also a kind of wit that people have relied on for centuries to forward ridiculous conclusions while pretending to use reason. Examples of syllogism and syllogistic fallacy. Flavius, have you forgot me, sir? Timon, why dost ask that? I have forgotten all men. Then if thou grantest that a man, I have forgotten thee. This witty syllogism occurs in Shakespeare's historical play Timon of Athens. All birds lay eggs. A chicken lays eggs. A chicken is a bird. All dogs bark. The basenji, which is mute, cannot bark. A basenji is not a dog. All swans are white. A cygnet baby swan is grey. A cygnet is not a swan. All books contain words. A shopping list contains words. A shopping list is a book. There's that one. And here's a infameme from softschools.com. An infameme is a logical argument that contains a conclusion but an implied premise. This type of reasoning is informal in that the conclusion is reached based on implied reasoning rather than stated reasoning. Chiasmus is a form of infameme. These are examples of an infameme. We cannot trust Katie because she lied last week. I cannot believe Sam broke your vase. I have known him for years. I failed the test because the teacher doesn't like me. Of course he's got the job. He's a man. With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good. Smuckers jelly commercial. He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious. Shakespeare, Julius Caesar. Senator, I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy. Lloyd Benson. There we go. What's everyone saying? Hi, Chris Hayes. Here's one. If the Earth's flat, I should be able to see my granny in China. Yeah, we've all got super X-ray vision. We can see forever. No, nobody told us. People keep turning up to some of the meetups somehow that I've not seen it on YouTube. All right. Yes, that's a bit suspect, eh? Yeah. People are turning up to these meetups and they've not seen it on YouTube and they've not seen it on here and that. They've not. I don't know, because some people share it though, don't they, on other platforms and that. I don't know. So they might have shared it on other platforms. They might have seen it on YouTube, but they might have seen it on Facebook or somewhere else. I don't know. So I've just said that. Some come because it's been shared on Facebook, but Did you all see that when I shared the screen? Did it share? What if that? Yes. Right. I'm from Reddit. I don't think I've ever been on there, to be honest. I've been on Reddit. No, I just thought I'd share that and just put it out there. That's what a syllogism is and what an infameme is. It's so we can. I'm guessing there's a lot of people out there that know a lot of truth from a lot of things, but just don't want to say anything. They're scared, or their ego, or something, or losing their jobs, or losing their family, whatever. Understandable, really, but OBS, no. Google Hangouts. I need to get that OBS up and running. I might try that soon. I'm just using Hangouts at the minute. So, they're trying to slip these fallacies by you. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know what you're looking at, though, beyond belief, you'll fall for it, won't you? So we've got to learn these fallacies and stuff like that, so we know that when they're using them, we can just point it out and say, no, hang on a minute. You're using logical fallacy there. That's false logic, isn't it? You know what I mean? So stick to the facts. Where's your proof? Like the burden of proof fallacy. You try and turn it around on us, say, no, we've got to prove against the heliocentric model. No, that's not right. The burden of proof is on the claim, and the claim is the heliocentric model. So they've got the burden of proof, and if they can't prove it, if all they've got is pseudoscience and stories from thousands of years ago, and that is one of the, what they call it, what's the word I'm looking for now? One of the characteristics of pseudoscience, when they're just using stories, allegory and stories from years ago, stuff like that. Another one is that when something's an accepted authority and it can't be questioned, and if you try and question it, you get attacked and stuff like that. That's another sign of pseudoscience. Becoming a flat earth years, you have to use your brain more than normal. Many are lazy. Let it be a globe. Yeah. It's because I don't know. We a lot of people. It's because of what they call it. It's because of their education, isn't it? They're taught what to think, not how to think. If they were taught how to think, then they wouldn't have a problem. And if they were taught at school about the trivium and the quadrivium and the liberal arts and that, they'd be able to see through all this logical fallacy and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't have the problem. They'd be able to see straight through it all. But because they've not been taught any of this stuff, they just accept what's being told to them. And like I said before, the education system is there to keep people in servitude, and it's there to keep people with a childlike mentality. My camera keeps freezing. It froze then. It froze again. Going a bit slow. Fans going really fast. Yeah, if they keep using fallacy, logical fallacies, then you know you've caught them at it. If you point that out, they don't like it. They start getting defensive then, or using ad hominem. Yeah, the herd does a brainwashing for the deceiver. What they call it, like I was saying the other day at the meetup, about the 7 characteristics of a cult. You can fit everyone to society. So basically, society is the cult, and the heliocentric model is the religion of that cult, in my opinion. And that's why you've got everyone in society like that, like they are. When people question everything, the people police themselves. That's how they've set it up. If anyone sees anyone that doesn't agree with society or anything like that, or agree with it, or agree with the relationship model, or anything like that, they're straight there. I mean, trying to police it and that, and trying to and telling on you and stuff like that. So that's the way it's been set up. People can't think for themselves. They have to appeal to authority, and they say, "Oh well, somebody figured it out." You know what I mean? They'll just believe that man. Although the people, these people that believe in all this bullshit, they've never seen their people. They don't know them from Adam, but they believe in what they're telling them. They believe in the thoughts of other men who they've never met. They don't even know them, and they just blindly believe. Saying that's a religion, to blindly believe something that from somebody else and not have the proof there and shown it practically. So if I keep freezing here and chat seems to have stopped, I don't know. I don't know if someone's tried to start it up in background. Then have a look at this. Hang on. Not doing it. It's freezing. I don't know what. I don't know if I'm still there or not. I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Come on. What's going on here? I don't know. Yeah. Frozen. There's crap running in the background. Let me have a look. No. Well, that's not on. I don't know. No, it's just the computer. I think it's the fans going like spinning like mad. I think it's just my computer's slowing down. That's all I think. Tamo. Yeah, all right. I think it's just the computer. Fans going like mad in computer, and I think it's just slowing it down a bit. Might settle down in a minute. Is it still gone? Back. I reckon. Ooh, I think it's slowing down now. Yeah, so don't know if I'm there or what, I don't know. I can see myself now, it doesn't seem to be frozen anymore. Can see the voice, yeah. Like I said, I think it's the, what they call it, the the chat doesn't seem to be moving. Oh yeah, it is. I'm going here when I look. It weren't bad Crusades yet. We're good. We had Tony Dick, Lev Kung Fu turned up. Jamie Brown came along. I can't remember his name. What's his name there? From Sheffield. I can't remember. Sorry. Is it Tony Dixon? Came along as well. Right. So, yeah, I don't think it weren't loads of stuff running. I think because I usually have some stuff running like that. It's just a computer. I think when I start it up, I gotta leave it on for a bit to warm up and that. And it's an old, and I've had it for years. It's got Windows 10 on it, like, but I've had it for a long time now. One of them touch. It's one of them, what they call it, touch screen ones. What you touch, all in one. Had it for ages now. It's getting a bit old now. So, what questions do they ask me? Not really. I just keep telling them about the trivium and stuff like that, and teaching them about logical fallacy and stuff like that. Syllogisms, enthymemes, how to see through stuff and how to not be deceived, basically. Yeah, Tony, yeah, nice bloke, yeah. We were the first ones to turn up. Then Jamie Brown turned up. Oh, I can't remember his name, from Sheffield. His name's John. John, I think. I can't remember his last name. John, I think. It's John. And then Lev Kung Fu turned up. Anyone see GCSE level douchebags hit piece on Dell? What a fucking joke. My girlfriend wears dresses with higher IQs than that muppet. 11:38 here, yeah. John Sharp. That's him, yeah. Thank you, P900. Cool pics. Sandra. Yeah, that's it. John Sharp. I couldn't remember his last name. His name was John. I couldn't remember his last name. Yeah, so. Oh. That's all they've got, yeah. Hit piece videos. They're not even useful idiots anymore. So. Because that's all they've got, Stephen Watson. Being divs. Just useful idiots. And half of them are not even useful. Now the masses, they probably will fall for it, you know what I mean? Because they don't know what we know, you know what I mean? But once people start to learn and know what we know, then they won't fall for it. That's why we have to keep telling people about the logical fallacies and stuff like that, the trivium and stuff like that, so they can see through all that. So they can go, well, hang on a minute, that's you're being logically fallacious there, or you're being a sophist, or you're gaslighting, or whatever. People need to learn about this stuff so they can see through all that, and they can go, well, hang on a minute, that's bullshit. I mean, what you're talking about? So. I was backing my head on the desk with that GCSE guy. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if you were banging your head on the desk. I saw him when Beyond the Imaginary Curve, Dell put him on there, and I'd watched it and that, but that's it. I've not been over to his channel. I've not watched anything of his. I wasn't like today explaining the appeal to authority and numbers fallacy. Yeah. Yeah. Anima Animus 12:38. So you're an hour in front of me then. That baldy wanker was a joke on Dells. I missed it, Chris Hayes. I didn't see the live. I didn't see it. I missed it. I just saw the second when you came up again for the second time after being sniped. And everyone were talking about it. I didn't see what happened. I missed it. If one day the internet does not work, then we just need to go out into the streets and do it that way. We just need to get on with it then, don't we? Just need to make sure the people that we have found through this, we keep in touch offline and whatever way we can, and just keep doing it out there. If the internet goes down, then it goes down. There's nothing you can do about it, is there? Yeah, we're also exacting on our time zones. Yeah. Pigeons. Yeah, we could use pigeons. Carrier pigeons. Send each other messages by pigeon. I'll have to get a shed in back garden. If I get them pigeons though, I'm gonna have to see if I can get money together, because they need them little Nike trainers, don't they? Them racing pigeons. You know what I mean? Cost a lot of money. Them little Nike trainers but pigeons. So yeah, if no internet, just keep hammering the activism. Get out there, keep telling people, showing them, telling them. Oh yeah, carrier pigeons, not racing pigeons, are they? So I don't need to buy little night trainers for them then, do I? That's all right, then it won't cost me that much. We used to say that a lot down at when we used to work on building sites down in London. We used to go down and we used to like have a conversation with each other. Me and other lads from Yorkshire. To turn around, we used to say, "Have you still got them racing pigeons?" And other lad that were there with us, he goes, "No." He says, "I had to get rid of them." He says, "Then little night trainers are costing me too much." Yeah, like you said. Yeah, start writing again. You'd have to, wouldn't you? Start writing again, and like I said, sending them by carrier pigeon. We'll have to invest in some pigeons. And what if at about the same time the internet and phone goes down, men in military clothes and guns knock on your door and kindly ask you to come with them to a nice bus to transport us to safety? If the internet and the phones went down, it wouldn't bother me, to be honest. But if they come knocking on my door with guns saying they're going to transport me to safety, I'll tell them to do one. But I'm not going nowhere with you. I'm not going anywhere with you. Don't need your safety or protection, your safety. Look after myself, thanks. Yep, this is going to seem scary at first. Like when I start, I've not done it yet. I've put cards about and stuff like that. That's about it, really. And no internet, no commerce, no trade. They can't shut it down. Yeah, but what did they do before the internet, Stephen Watson? Before they had the internet, they still had commerce and trade, didn't they? So it'd just go downhill a little bit. That's all. But people will still survive it. I mean, they did it before the internet, so they'll do it again after, won't they? So it might take a bit of time, like, but they'll still get back up and running. Yeah, they'll have to shoot me too, Sandra, because I won't go with him. Like, no thanks. I'm not going to one of your fucking camps. If the internet starts working, how are we all going to fit in Dell's shed? I don't know. I'm sure we manage it somehow. Andres? Yeah, you're right. Nothing great was achieved from the comfort zone. No. Hey, Steve, we could sponsor a migratory bird, attach a small camera to the leg, and film the flat Earth, maybe from there to South Africa. Well, yeah, we could do. Yeah. Yep. I mean, all the activism in the world would be useless by that point. We need to think ahead like they do. Yeah, so all we've got to do then is just get it all on paper and get it all the evidences and all the proofs on paper and on video, download the videos onto a hard drive or something. Just because there's no internet, it means there's going to be no electricity. So you still can't, what they call it, put them on a tablet or something like that. You know what I mean? And just take that out with you. Some paper, laminate it, stuff like that, so you won't get wet and damaged and that. Take that with you. You know what I mean? You don't believe what Tamo said. He said, I think he means that basically we couldn't just say, well, go to Beyond the Imaginary Curve or go to 200 Proofs or like that. We couldn't do it like that. We couldn't send them to YouTube or like through the internet. So we'd have to have it all downloaded from the internet and kept for personal use and that, and on like a tablet or something where you don't need the internet. And have it all on paper, laminated and that and stuff like that. So you've got it all. So it's time to stop talking about flat Earth and start doing some serious experiments and activism on international level, well coordinated. Is that all? Yeah. Yeah. We definitely need to start doing more. They don't care about money. It's an illusion. They're used to manipulate, but they have no need for money. They need slaves. Exactly. X-Crate 200. Yeah. You're right. They don't need money. It's them that print the money. They don't need the money. They just need people to do everything for them. Because if it weren't for us as their slaves, then basically they wouldn't have no one to do anything for them. Much of all the money in the world, power become the goal. Yeah, like I said, they print the money, so they're not bothered about money. It's not money, not about money to them. Not about money. It's about power and about control and about keeping everyone as slaves, so they don't have to lift a finger themselves. So they get everyone to do everything for them and wipe their asses for them and everything else. That's all it's about. Because they're lazy, idle bastards. That's why they don't want to do nothing for themselves. Most of today's generation would break down without the internet. They were born with it. They have no insight into basic old school skills. No, they haven't. No. Luckily, I know how to do a load of stuff. I can do anything. I can put my mind and man to anything. I'm a quick learner. So yeah. I can sew. I can do it. I can cook. I can do everything. I can't knit though. I want to learn. I want to learn to knit. I really do. Yes, beyond belief. Yeah. Globe cult and the society cult deceivers are parasites. Well, I knit as a baby. They should teach stuff like they should. Schools should teach stuff like how to grow your own food and how to make everything and how to survive with your hand, using your hands basically. How to sew and knit and everything, make clothes, everything. Home building, yeah. My grandmother taught me how to knit when I was about 16, 17, but I've forgotten how to do it. Can't remember where I learned how to sew. I think it was actually school, I think. Learned how to sew at school, I think, when I was at school. Oh, Tom Corner, you can knit. Someone will have to teach me. I know you got to drop one sometimes. Action Man hats. What are they for then? For your fingers. Keep your fingers warm. No, honestly, I've forgotten how to knit. My grandma showed me when I was about 16, and I don't think I took much notice, to be honest, and I only learnt a tiny little bit, and I can't remember how to do it now. Knit, put me back on the ball, please. Lol. Yeah. But we have to learn these things because if it all goes tits up and everything collapses, then we're going to have to be able to make clothes, aren't we? We're going to have to be able to make our own clothes and do everything and what they call it, grow your own food and everything. So Tom and Steve can knit like Stallone in Demolition Man. Other movies are available. Looking at my night sky photos, I see a huge scary face looking down at us. Need someone to confirm this shit. Well, they do say we see faces in things. Just what do you call it? I don't know. Baron Bronskanit. All right, Baron Bronskanit. Damn, I got builders from how Megan and it from. I've only got half of from how Megan and it. I don't know. Let's see if we see because it's there. Yeah, but they say you see faces in things that resemble faces, but it might not be. I don't know. That's all that other shit about saying don't trust your senses. Yeah, I've only got. You can. If you can see that, I've only got. It'd be hard for me to knit with 1.5 thumbs, wouldn't it? Really. Make your jumpers out of MDF. Wouldn't MDF give you cancer? The dust from MDF. I don't want to do that extra great. Crochet stitch sounds painful. Yep. Right. I don't think there's anything else. I think I'm just gonna. What do you call it? I've already done that. I'm gonna show something else here, but I've already done that as a video on my channel, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna show some other. Hemp does it all. I eat them. I've got some hemp seeds in the cupboard. Have a couple of teaspoons of it every now and again. Good. Got them from a well-known health food shop. So should make clothes out of hemp, so I hear. Not worn any. I've not worn any. Right. How long have I been on for? Don't know what you call it. "48 minutes. About another 10 minutes, I think, if no one wants to come on. If no one wants to come on for a little bit, I'll stop a little bit longer, but if not, I'm going to give it about another 10-15 minutes, and that's it then. I have hemp power every day. What would a good new rocket hit in a dome video speed the waking up process? Well, Tamo, I mean, we don't know if there is a dome. We've not seen it, have we? So it could just be a straw man argument. I mean, put out there to be ridiculed. We don't know. We don't know what's there. People say it's like a dome with an ice wall. I mean, but we don't know that. I mean, that means we're still enclosed in something, like we'll be on a sphere. So that could be the next paradigm. I don't know. Paradigm shift. I don't know. But I'm not saying that it is. But why couldn't it be like a level plane that goes on for a long way? You know what I mean? And it's not a dome. It's just like a ceiling over the top. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it is because I don't know, but I'm just saying why couldn't it be that? I mean, it doesn't have to be a dome. The sky only looks dome shaped because the way your eyes work, the way perspective in your eyes work, it looks dome shaped, but it's not actually dome shaped. If you know what I mean. Roxanne, no, I've not. She's not been on, has she? I've not seen her around. She left a comment on a video. I can't remember what video it were now. She left a comment on. Let me just find out now. Let's have a look. A week ago. I'm off on a mission to find a unicorn video. So left a comment saying keep at it. That's it. I've not a week ago. So hi Midnight, how you doing? I hope she's doing alright, yeah. But like I said, she's working full time and she's got a family. So she might be busy at the minute. So kids have just gone back, haven't they, from a couple of weeks off, haven't they? So not long ago. So wait, today or last Monday? Well, last Monday, weren't it? Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. But could be anything, but it's locally level and contained around here. Oh yeah, it could be anything. We don't know what it is, to be honest, do we? That's why I don't subscribe to any map or model because we just don't know. All the maps and models that are out there, they're just straw men to me. You know what I mean? We don't know. You can't say that's where we are because we don't know. We've never been there, never seen it. We're just taking the beliefs and the thoughts and the ideas of other men again. I mean, it's. Hello, Matthew C4. Yeah, I will do it for you from here. But I don't know if I will. I don't know. I said I'm guessing she's just having a bit of time. You know what I mean? MG, you see MG there? Yeah, Midnight Garden. Yeah, MG. Yeah, it's all right for me. Alright, only been on for now, so 52 minutes. I don't think I'll be much longer, to be honest, because unless someone wants to come on, but I don't. Hi to all, sorry, multitasking here. Men are not supposed to be able to multitask, are they? Unless you're a lady, that is. I heard that ladies are better, women and ladies are better at multitasking. Matthew C4. Go to channel. Yeah, but that's all. No, we can't multitask. There you go, Midnight's a girl. There you go. There's an infameme for you, Baron Bronskovich. You've just used an infameme. That's what sorted out. Just I really. But how about we fund some quality fake news production that will hook the sheep and make them research flat Earth? I'm talking believable clips. See if there's even research. Yeah. Yeah. You do beyond belief, yeah. When you start looking into all them logical fallacies, you see them everywhere. Well, hang on a minute. Seems to be nothing but logical fallacies wherever you look. Not just on mainstream media and in the media and the propaganda shit and everything else. It's everywhere. Even people use it constantly. But they don't know they're using it, you see, but they're using it. That execrate. It's awesome to be able to come and chat and connect with critically thinking individuals. Thanks for doing what you do, Steve. Kaya Aroa, stand strong in love, peace, fuck mate. Gotta go later. See you later, Excavate 200. Thanks for popping in. I mean, can multitask, you just don't know it. Yeah. They don't know how to defend themselves from illogic. Yep. Like cool, hard, illogical. Yep. Because people are not taught about logical fallacy and all that sort of stuff, so they don't know they're using it, and they don't know when it's being used on them. It's where we need to show people all this as well, about logical fallacy and everything, so they can learn it, so they can go, well, hang on a minute, you're talking bullshit. Where's your logical argument? Basically, where's your syllogism? Where's your major premise, your minor premise, and your conclusion? You know what I mean? Yeah, cool, hard, illogical. Because that's all he's got, logical fallacy. Is illogical. Tell me all these people that are trying to debunk flat Earth. You can't debunk reality, I'm afraid. You know what I mean? Water's not up for debunking. The physics of water is not up to be debunked. The way we produce and maintain pressure is not up to be debunked. Name our children Flat Earth. No, let's name them Globe Earth deniers and heliocentric religion deniers. If they had the proof, why do they need to use all these shady, dishonest tactics? Exactly. If they had the proof and it was self-evident that we lived on a globe, then they wouldn't have to use all these dishonest, sophist arguments and these dishonest tactics and logical fallacy and all the other bullshit, would they? And how many years has it been now? People have been looking into this. Me, it's been 2 years. People have been looking into it longer than me. And we're still at it now, years later, and they've still not come forward with any proof. And if it was a self-evident fact, why would they have to show it constantly? Everywhere you look, there's globes. All over the TV, when you first watch a movie, it's all over the newspapers, the magazines, the words that they use to describe it, like global and stuff like that and everything else. It's everywhere. They wouldn't have to show it like that everywhere if it was a self-evident fact. They only show it like that because it's not real. And they have to imprint it in people's minds. I don't know about that, Stephen Watson. I've never read Auto Trader, but I'm not really been into cars, to be honest. I've never drove, so. A school full of children all named Flat Earth. Imagine a big register. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Like what publicity stunt? What? They're good, like, you know what I mean? But it'd go on telly and they'd just edit the shit out of it and make it look stupid, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? They put it on telly and they'd make it look stupid, wouldn't they? They'd edit it and make it look stupid, and then they'd use nothing but logical fallacy and stuff like that to try and defend what the globe and everything else. You know what I mean? And make it look daft. You know what I mean? So it'd probably backfire, to be honest, because it'd be the mainstream media that'd pick it up. You know what I mean? And you know what they're there for? They're not there for truth. They're there for propaganda. That's all. 20 months of asking, and all I get back is nonsense. I can smell shit. Yeah, I can smell a bit of that and all beyond. I've had nearly 2 years of asking, and all I get back is logical fallacy. So I don't know. And sophist arguments, gaslighting. It's full of pictures, is auto trade. It's a globe as heaven. Yeah. Love their images, don't they, them globies? Love their images. Yeah, if you're pushing a straw man map or model and you're not trying to empower people with the trivium and all that sort of stuff, you're pulling up on TV. You know what I mean? Because then they can just attack the straw man model and everything else. But if you're talking sense, and you're talking the truth, and you're talking sense, you've got no chance. No chance. Yeah. They would make wild shit up, yeah, same thing. Yeah, they make shit up, wouldn't they? And be like, oh, I mean, they use logical fallacy of like what they call it, alt time and that, or they'd put everyone in the same boat. Which what they're trying to do now? Because that new thing that's just come out about saying that it's mainly millennials that believe the Earth is flat and stuff like that, and everyone that believes it believes the Earth is flat, that knows, that comes to this understanding that the Earth isn't what they tell us it is, and it's some sort of level plane. Because water tells us that, right? So we know that. So, but the mainstream media turn around and say, oh well, you know what I mean? It's like all flat earthers or most flat earthers or all flat earthers are religious and use the Bible and stuff like that, but we don't. Not at all. They're trying to put us all in the same boat, basically. Yeah, it's Casper. I swallow cum. I get that. Funny cunt. You funny bastard. I got a troll in there. Sorry, I had to just read what they said. There's someone behind you peeking, man. Yeah, it's Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's alright. It's fine. I've got an image of him somewhere. You might believe that he exists if I show you an image, eh? I'll have to find it out for you. Just make it up. No one checks. Good correction, Steve. Keep believing. Yeah, they do. They need people to keep believing. And because people are believing all the bullshit that they put out there, they're laughing at them. They're laughing. They're like, why are these people believing the thoughts of other men? Men, not just men, but other women as well, and people they've never met before. They don't even know them, and they believe in them. And people know people lie. That's why I always say when I'm telling somebody something at the meet up on Saturday, I was telling John Sharp something, and I says to him, I says, look, you don't have to believe me. I says, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. I says, go and look it up yourself. I says to him. He says, oh, I believe you. I says, no, don't. That's the problem. Don't believe me. You go and look at it yourself. Find it out yourself. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Don't believe what anyone's telling you. Go and check it out yourself and have a look yourself. Go and find it yourself and have a look for yourself. Don't believe anything anyone tells you. That's what got us into this mess in the first place, believing other people. You have to find out for yourself. I will tell you people stuff, yeah. But like I said, I don't want you to believe what I'm telling you. Go and look for yourself. Go and back up what I'm telling you with some evidence of your own and that. Go and look for it yourself. I think I'm worried about Well, yeah, he's calling them sheep. You know what I mean? Well, we know that. You know what I mean? But calling them that, you know what I mean? It's not helpful. I don't think. Just call them the masses. I just call them the masses. Yeah, everyone has a right to fight their own way out of the cult. And the religion of that cult, like I said, which is heliocentrism, is the religion. The cult itself is society, I'm telling you. Go and have a look at the 7 characteristics of a cult. Just go and find a PDF on it somewhere. 7 characteristics of a cult, and you can fit every one of them to society. Every one. Global Earth Society is the cult, and the heliocentric model is the religion of that cult. Like I said, go and have a look at the 7 characteristics of a cult. It'll come up with like religious cults and stuff like that. Just take the religious connotations out of it and just read it without the religious connotations, and you'll see every one of them is a part of society. That's what I've learned. And I've referenced that with multiple PDFs on it about the characteristics of a cult. And then when you look at all them, you can see that they're all in society. So Principal Mathematica is their Bible. Yep. Like I said, the heliocentric model is the religion of the cult. The heliocentric model isn't the cult. That's the religion of the cult. The cult is society. Like I said, don't believe me. Go and have a look. Go and have a look for the PDFs on it. Google the PDFs and just go look. The 7 characteristics of a cult. Like I said, just take out the religious connotations. And you can see that every one of them characteristics of a cult is there in society. Find a nice projector. Project research. Flat Earth in the night. Sky every night. Yeah, we could do a Batman, couldn't we? But in the sky. But then would people really, what they call it, you know what I mean? Would we be allowed to do that? You know what I mean? I think about that. They wouldn't allow us to do that, would they? Because they'd go, oh no, well, there's aviation, you see, and you've got to have permission and licenses and all this sort of stuff from the aviation authorities and stuff like that. Because the planes fly over there and stuff like that. And it could distract the planes and stuff like that, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be allowed, I don't think. They'd do anything they could to shut it down and stop you. Yeah, they ask us for a model or proof when they haven't got no proof of their own anyway. And like I said, no, but evidence isn't proof. Evidence is just there to suggest there could be other possibilities. Proof means it is what it is. You can have evidence for anything. Don't mean to say it's real and true. Like I said, if you look up what the difference is between evidence and proof, it'll tell you evidence is there to suggest that there could be other possibilities. So you don't want evidence, you want proof, not evidence. Yes, beyond belief. Evidence is inconclusive and it's there to suggest there could be other possibilities. Proof is conclusive. It means it is what it is. That's it. There's no other explanation. That's proof. And like I said, they keep asking us for proof and evidence and a model and all that sort of stuff. It's not on us to give them any of that shit. It's on them to prove their claim. They're making the claim that we live on a globe. That's the claim. That has always been the claim. As far back as any of us can remember. That's the claim. And the burden of proof is on the claim. And that is the claim. And if you're saying otherwise, then that's the burden of proof fallacy. Yeah? So we just need to keep on at them. And if they keep asking us for models and proof and evidence and all this shit, right? Just say, no, it's not on us to give the proof and the evidence for the flat Earth. It's on you to prove your model. If you can't prove your model using tangibles and using things there in front of you, and you can't demonstrate it empirically using the scientific method, then it's bullshit. It's pseudoscience, I'm afraid. You know what I mean? So all they've got is like someone said there, but I can't remember who said it. Who said that when they says all they've got is what they call it, composite images. The Earth that's been made in 3D modeling software and stuff like that, photoshopped and stuff like that. You know what I mean? None of it's real. CGI. That's all they've got. Anyone that looks properly can see that whenever they show you anything of another planet or a satellite in space or all like that, it's all CGI. It's all cartoons. None of it's real video. It's all computer generated. Where's the real video? There isn't any. That's all they've got, images and formal science, yeah. And if they had actual photographs, then yeah, fair enough, but they don't. It's just CGI images and bullshit. And images and photographs, anyway, they're not, and videos, anyway, they're not scientific. Are they? So, and all, like I said, all they've got is a mathematical model. Well, anyone can build a mathematical model around an assumption. So you need the tangible proof. You've got to be able to show it in reality. If you can't show it in reality, then it's bullshit, I'm afraid. It's like Dell, Beyond the Magic Curve, keeps saying, it's like being back at school. And when a kid comes up to you and says, my dad's got a Ferrari, and he's got a villa in the south of France. You're like, well, show me. I can't. Well, then you're lying. You can't show me. Then you're lying. You know what I mean? So, and that's right. No substance, no measurable proof, loads of browbeating, bullying, and manipulating. Exactly, that's all they've got. All they've got is browbeating, bullying, logical fallacy, ad hominem, and that's it. And psychological attacks. And gaslighting is a psychological attack. That's all they've got. See beyond the curve. Yeah, we can all see beyond the curve. Apparently. Oh. Give them a free ice cream. Yeah, it'd be good if we owned one of us owned an ice cream van. Go around giving out free ice creams. If you listen to me for 10 minutes, I'll give you a free ice cream. Sandra, my point is they believe if they pay. That's what's it all about? I don't give a fuck about money. They can look for nothing. Yeah. It's not about money to me, or anything like that. It's about the truth, and it's about helping people. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is help people to discern for themselves and to help people see what's going on. Free ice cream if you find the curve. Yeah. Free sweeties for the people with a childlike mentality. They might like the sweets. Give them some sweets. If you find the curve, I'll give you a bag of sweets. Exactly, animus. Because Hubble's not real, that's why. But even if it was, do you know what I mean? All they show you from it anyway is what they call it CGI. Bullshit. It's not real. But it's not. Well, Hubble's not real anyway, so it don't matter, does it? There's nothing could be in space in a vacuum anyway. Won't survive. Mummy, free ice cream if you spots the curvature. Please, mummy. Yeah. I think some need to read what I'm suggesting. What you're suggesting, Stephen Watson? My point is they believe if they pay. What have I missed? Even people I don't particularly like deserve a chance to wake up from this cult's hypnotic trance. If they ignore the truth when it is in front of them, that's on them, but give them a chance at least. Yeah. Yeah, everyone deserves a chance to wake up and see through all the bullshit and all the lies. Everyone deserves a chance. But like you said, if you put it right in front of them there and they still can't see it, then they're too far gone, to be honest. It's not their fault. You just haven't got the eyes to see it, have they? There were two guys offering €10,000 to prove curvature. Well, they're not going to lose the money, are they? It's a safe bet there, isn't it? Not going to lose out there, are they? Go back, Steve. Oh, you have to go back through all this chat and read it all and go through it all. I'll be here for ages. How far up past we? They will pay. Is any further up than that? Let's have a look. Packed beach, hot sunny day, P900s, and £2 a look for the Masters for a P900. Just saying. Is that it? Be live. Branded consumers. And some will not see. But I don't. It's not necessarily their fault. It's the way they've been educated and that in the Prussian education system. To be kept in servitude. They've been taught what to think, not how to think, and they just believe it's a religion. Like I said, society is a cult, and the heliocentric model is the religion, and people are just too engrossed in that religion and that cult. They can't let go. It's like they're all like religious fundamentalists. That's all they are. They're religious fundamentalists. Not everybody. I'm not saying everyone's a religious fundamentalist. I'm saying a lot of people, especially the ones that just don't get it and can't wake up and just can't see the logical fallacy in it all and everything else, and can't see that they're in a cult and can't see that the heliocentric model is a religion. They just can't see it because they're that invested in it. It's the way society's engineered them to be, I'm afraid. Like I said, a lot of people have invested a lot of time and a lot of money. I can't remember who said it now. Hello, Andy, a.k.a. Rudolph Eschensack. They hijack the true meaning of the word gravity around the same time as they remove the trivium. If schools won't offer it, parents should homeschool. Yep. Well, my kids are still in school, but I'm just teaching them about logical fallacy, teaching them the trivium, emphymemes, syllogisms, all that sort of stuff. So when they go to school, I've just told them, don't believe anything that you're told. Ask for proof. And if they ain't got proof and they start getting funny with you, just keep your head down, just get on with it, but just don't believe it. Don't believe any of it. Come home, tell me what they've been telling you, you know what I mean? And I'll put you straight. And we will go and look it up ourselves and go and look for the proof ourselves. Or we'll look for the proof with them. If there's no proof there and it sounds like bullshit and it's just logical fallacy, then I'll tell them that. So... go slap them across the face and say the earth is flat. They give them a free lolly. Yeah, but then that's assaulting people in Sandy 123, and I'm not for that at all. I've got to stick to my moral compass. Cause no loss or harm to any man, woman, or child. That's all I can do. No, not every child is so lucky. No. There's a lot of children out there in this country, in the UK, that are starving kids in poverty in this day and age. Because of these fucking psychopathic, narcissistic people that have put us here, basically. So they can tell that they don't. These people that are supposed to be in charge, these powers that should not be, you can tell they don't care about the people. They were just slaves to them and everything else. Because if they did care about the people, there won't be all these children in poverty and going hungry. There won't be all these children like living in squalor, would they? Or anything like that. I know, I get that, Sandy 123. Yeah, I know you were. I was just saying. I mean, you've got to stick to your moral compass. I mean, that don't cause no loss or harm. Treat people like you want to be treated. So, 12:30. I don't think I'll be much longer now. I want to go for a cigarette, with a cup of tea probably, and go to bed. I feel that we are sitting on the truth, feeling smart, waiting for globies with bald proofs. They obviously are not coming. Not being negative, all I'm saying is we have to plan this takeover in detail. Yeah, we are sitting here with the truth, but we're not just sitting here with it though, Tamo. There's a few of us now getting out there and doing activism and trying to spread it and everything else, which is the way to go, to be honest. That's why I need to pull my finger out and get into gear and start doing more. Now, so like Flat Earth Dude. Yeah, it's 12:30 AM here, 4:30 there. Flat Earth Dude, yeah. Yeah, but Tamo, all we can do, I mean, is just get out there and pass on what we know to people. You know what I mean? Pass on what we know to people and just keep doing that. Activism, that's all we can do, activism. Keep passing on what we know to people. If they don't want to listen, they don't want to know, then it's their lookout at the end of the day. We've tried. We can't force it on them. We can't, like Sandy 123 said, slap them around the face and go, there you go. There's the information. You know what I mean? You can't force it onto people, force it into people's minds. You can't force them to look at it and that. All you can do is give them the information, and hopefully they go away and have a look. If not, then it's their lookout. We've tried. All we can do is try. All we can do is try and help people and try and show people. And it's up to them then to get off their ass and go and have a look. People already know what they need to. It's breaking down the cult programming that caused them to doubt it. Yeah. Yeah. We need people to know that as well. And the only way we can do that is to show it. Is to show people that basically they're in a cult. Do you know what I mean? And then they're worshipping a religion, the heliocentric model. All we've got to do is show people that. I know you were Sandy 123. Yeah, I know you'd never do that. I know. I was just using it as an example. Sorry. I know. Yeah. You was only joking, Sandy 123. I know. I was just using that as an example. So yeah. So the only thing we can do is try and show people that they're living in a cult and they're worshipping the heliocentric religion, and that we need to show them how to discern for themselves. People need to, like I said, learn the trivium and about logical fallacy. They need to know what the education system actually is, what it actually means, everything else. So that's all we can do. Keep the person you speak to distant from the absurd globe claims, or else they will feel they must defend it. Then react emotionally. Yep. Yep. It's like any religion. You go up to any religious person and you try and like attack their religion or say something against their religion, they'll attack you. And they get emotional and they get triggered and they attack you. Their cognitive dissonance kicks in. Say anything against religion. It's the same thing with the globe. The heliocentric religion. Say anything against it or show them any proof against it or any evidence or any proof or anything against it, you get attacked. Like I said, it's like any religion. You go up to any religious person and start saying stuff about their religious beliefs and stuff like that and showing them evidence or proof against it and stuff like that, they attack you because they're emotionally invested in it and it's their religion. Like I said, people are entitled to their beliefs, but we shouldn't have beliefs, to be honest. We shouldn't believe anything. We should try and get a knowing. That's it. We shouldn't believe or assume anything. Try and get a knowing. That's the only thing I can give. I mean, we just got to try and eradicate our beliefs and our assumptions and try and get a knowing. And if we don't know something, just say, I don't know. It's okay to say you don't know. Yeah. Yeah, flat earth dude, yeah. You probably know more about the heliocentric model than what most people do. Because coming into this subject, into this, you have to study all that as well. So, see, I'm scratching my arms. I've caught the sun on Saturday on my arms at the back of my neck and I've all blistered. So I'm itching. It's a demented religious cult that indoctrinated children into believing absurdities that it demands. Then it demands you brainwash the next innocent mind you have access to. Yep. Just like a cult would. Just like cults do. Another characteristic of a cult. You know what I mean? Yep. People don't know anything about where they live. They don't. They don't. If you went out and asked the average person, how fast is the Earth spinning at the equator? I bet you 9 out of 10 of them couldn't tell you. You ask them what the tilt of the Earth is on its axis. 9 out of 10 people couldn't tell you. If you ask them how fast the sun is traveling around, the Earth is traveling around the sun in their model, they couldn't tell you. And they wouldn't even know about the sun traveling through the Milky Way galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy traveling through the universe or whatever, the Great Attractor or whatever. They wouldn't even know any of that either. They wouldn't know any of it. No, they don't know nothing. You can ask them anything about the heliocentric model, any of these, the average person on the street or whatever. You can ask them anything you want about the heliocentric model. Like I said, 9 out of 10 of the people you ask would hardly know anything about it. They wouldn't know what the curvature of the Earth is supposed to be. They wouldn't know what the size of the Earth is, even half of them. Most of them. Or the size it's supposed to be, should I say. The size they believe it to be. Yeah, if you ask them what time that show's on, they will know for sure. If you ask them what time the news is on, they'd know for sure. You ask them what time Britain's Got Talent's on, they'd know that and all, probably. And X Factor and all the other stupid shows. EastEnders, Hollyoaks. Other shows are available, you know. You don't have to watch any of that bullshit. They forgot what they are supposed to believe in. It's a mess. Yeah, they don't know what they believe in. They just believe they live on a globe. That's it. They don't know anything about it. They just believe it because they've seen it on TV or somebody from a supposed authorities told them about it and says, "Oh yeah, you live on a globe." You know what I mean? Or they're told, "Oh well, someone thousands of years ago put 2 sticks in the ground. That proves that you live on a globe. Well, hang on a minute. We all know that Eratosthenes put 2 sticks in the ground, right? But he first had to assume he lived on a globe. And he had to assume that the sun was like 19 million miles away or whatever he thought it were. You mean far away? And he assumed we lived on a globe before he even did the experiment. So, and then he fitted the maths to that. Well, that's not science, is it? Because he had to assume those things to start off with. That's if it's true. It might not even be true. It might be just one of those stories put out there to back up the heliocentric model. More than likely is, just like gravity. We'll just put out there to back up the heliocentric model. Because they needed that to keep the heliocentric model alive. So they had to do something after the Michelson-Morley experiment. Prove that the Earth wasn't moving, wasn't spinning. Because before the Michelson-Morley experiment, I've seen a video of Albert Einstein saying there is an ether, and it'd be stupid to say there wasn't, right? Michelson-Morley came out, did their experiment by shooting laser beams off the ether to try and detect the ether moving, right? Which basically is the same thing as detecting if the Earth's moving. And he came back with a negative result saying that nothing was moving. It was stationary, basically. So then Albert Einstein came out and says, well, there is no ether, and here's the theories of relativity, right? I think he came out with the special theory first. And it took him another 10 years to come out with the general theory. Like, it might have been the other way around. Was it the general theory, then the special theory? I'll get them two, like, the wrong way around. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway. But then relativity is pseudoscience. It's pseudoscience because he's had to remove things for it to work. And he's had to add things for it to work. Right? So, basically, so a lot of people, like, you know what I mean? They think it's one of them accepted authorities. It's an accepted authority. You can't question gravity. Well, that's a sign of pseudoscience. If it's something's an accepted authority and you can't question it, that's a sign of pseudoscience. And then you've got, like I said, I found a PDF. I don't know how accurate this is, so I don't know at the minute. I'm still looking into it. So don't. This is just what they call it. Just putting it out there. People want to go and have a look and whatever else. I don't know, but so don't quote me on this. It's not 100%. I'm not 100% on this, but I still need to put it out there so other people might want to have a look and stuff like that and find out. And then when I find out for definite and that and work it out, make sure it's accurate and everything else, then I'll come back and tell you that. But at the minute, it's just a preliminary thing, right? Yeah. Apparently, there's the velocity transform missing out of relativity. There isn't a velocity transform. So if there's no velocity transform and you need that, they might try and pass off the velocity equation, but that's not the thing that is missing. It's the velocity transform. Excuse me, basically missing. And then they've got what they call it. What's that thing there? Oh yeah, science, space-time. You need space-time to be able to have curvature of space-time, to have your gravity and stuff like that, right? In relativity. And science can't measure and they can't see space-time with any instrumentation that they've got. So if they can't see it and they can't measure it, you can't say that it exists. Can you? How can you say it exists if you can't measure it and you can't see it? You can't. Like I said, like I used before as an example. And before anyone says, "Oh no, I don't believe unicorns are real," this is just an example. I'm not demented. I'm not a glober. Yeah. It's like me saying, "Oh, I've got a pink unicorn with yellow spots." You can't see it and you can't measure it. You just have to trust me; it's there, right? And there's a little indentation in the ground down here, so that evidence suggests that it's actually there, and that's where it stood because it's hoof prints in the ground. Evidence suggests that it's there, right? You can't. It's stupid to say that space time. You know what I mean? It's real when you can't measure it and you can't see it. What's all these messages here? I'm not shouting, so I don't know. Right. Hi, Skyfly Bright. That's not you, is it? Because unless you've changed your picture. You have a look. You changed your picture. All your videos seem to be there. I don't know. What's that? I don't see how people can just argue about the stupid little things. People can believe what they want to believe. Yeah, people can believe what they want to believe. FGGL Mun. But you shouldn't have beliefs. People shouldn't have beliefs. You shouldn't have to believe. If it's science, it shouldn't be a belief. Science should be empirical. You should be able to show it practically. And if you can't show it practically, then it's a belief. Science shouldn't be a belief. Once science becomes a belief and dogmatic, it's then a religion. It's not science no more. Yeah. Sort of online calculator. I just usually, if you're on about the Earth curve calculator, Andy, aka. Beliefs don't change your objective reality. Useless. Yeah, beliefs, but the truth doesn't care about your beliefs. The objective reality doesn't care about your beliefs or your assumptions. The physics of water doesn't care about your beliefs or your assumptions, I'm afraid. Yes. I just use that, is it GitHub or something? I don't use the other one, the Mick West one, because no, I think he's just a sophist, logically fallacious sophist, I think, and he's like trying it on, I think. If you can't show it, yeah, it's bollocks. You've got to be able to show your claim. You're making a claim, show it me. Show me your claim. Prove it. And not with mathematical models and equations either. Like I said, maths is a formal science, a language used to describe. Maths is okay if it's applied mathematics and you're applying it to something tangible and you're using it for applied science, that's fine. But when you're just using mathematics on its own, with no tangible, measurable, what do you call it, proof, and you're not showing it practically with the mathematics, then it's bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, demonstrate a scale model. Just show me it. Oh no, but don't forget, beyond belief, they can't show it. They can't show it. Because it's got to be planet-sized, and it's got to be out away from the Earth's gravity. That just shows you it's pseudoscience. Are you going, Tom Corner? I'm going soon. I won't be on much longer because it's 10 to 1. I want to go for a cigarette and go to bed, I think. So, have we got trolls in? We had trolls in. Not been looking. We had 1 or 2 in, didn't we? Yeah, well, they can come spiting the bullshit as much as they like. Doesn't change the fact, does it? Night Tom Corner. Yeah, that's one I use. I think that GitHub thing. Yeah. I don't go for that metabunk. Nick West. I think he's an idiot. He's a sophist. He's logically fallacious and he's a sophist. From what I've seen of him, not seen him around for a long time though. Like beginning of last year. Last time I saw him last year sometime. Yep, exactly beyond belief. I know they can't model it and show me it, but they just aren't honest enough to admit it. Some are, some aren't, but they never seem to address each other. Yep. Yeah, they can't get the story straight either, can they? One says one thing, someone else says another. You know, well, make your mind up. What is it? Can't have it both ways. And a lot of these ballers, when it comes to the heliocentric model, they want it both ways. Say one thing, and then the next few minutes later, they're contradicting what they've said by saying something else. Well, you can't have it both ways. You only have it one way. You can't have your cake and eat it. You know what I mean? Globe Earth Deniers chat joined October 27th, 2011. I haven't ever seen you. Yeah, I joined YouTube years ago, but I never used it to put videos on it. I just used it to watch stuff and stuff like that, really. So I never really did much on it. I had a couple of videos of my kids on there when that on family stuff and stuff like that when I started, but I deleted them when I started doing this. So refraction is an excuse the ball religion relies on to explain away observations that debunk their claim. Yeah, but have I not heard somewhere, Jamie Brown, that they say that refraction bends the light up, so that's why you see it over the curves and stuff like these buildings or whatever else. But doesn't refraction bend the light down, not up? Tides, I don't know. I've been watching a couple of things about it today, but I don't think that's really going to give you measurable proof of the shape of the Earth, is it? I mean, it's a red herring, really, isn't it? But I don't know. Not got a clue. I know for a fact it's not the moon causing it, because to say that we've got a high tide here, right? This is the Earth. Let's say this is the Earth. We've got a high tide here on this side of the Earth, and because the moon's here, then the moon is causing the tides, right? Well, is that not the logical fallacy of post hoc ergo propter hoc? Because of this, therefore this. Is that not the logical fallacy? Like I said, it's called post hoc ergo propter hoc. Because of this, therefore this. You know what I mean? So it's not that. It's not the moon that causes it anyway. Put it that way. So basically, it's I don't know what the tides are, to be honest. I've seen I saw a good video on it earlier someone did, but I need to look into it. I don't know if it's accurate or not. I don't know. I need to have a look into it myself. They're saying you've got tidal nodes and stuff like that and everything else, and the tides are not uniform and they're all over the place, and there's areas where there's no tides at all and stuff like that in the oceans and stuff like that. So yeah, refraction bends light down. But they'll never accept that because it not only debunks their claim, but also makes the globe look even more ridiculous. Yeah, exactly, Jamie Brown. That's why I heard refraction bends light down. So, and I've been looking into the Fraunhofer diffraction at a circular aperture. About diffraction at a circular aperture, which is your eye is a circular aperture because your eye is convex, isn't it? It's a ball, yeah. It's the same on a camera. The lens is convex. It's curved, yeah. So when you're looking through that, the further away you're looking at something, I don't know if to call them particles or beams because the heliocentric religion can't decide whether they're beams or particles. I'm just going to call them beams, right? You got your two light beams like that, yeah, and they're that far apart, right? The further away you look at them from, say you're like 30 miles away, yeah, they merge together and they become one, right? And that's just the way the light works at a distance on a circular aperture. The light particles like blend together. I think that's another reason why you get the water line ramping up a little bit to cover off the bottom of the buildings, because of diffraction, the Fraunhofer diffraction at a circular aperture. Then you've got the mirroring effect as well, yes, which is what they call it, the precipitation coming up and the heat coming up off the water. You've got that. You've got what else have you got? Well, you've got the atmosphere itself, obviously, like the water in the atmosphere, precipitation. You've got the way light enters your eye. Like you said, it comes down at an angle. Actually, no, it sort of like goes like that, but that way, isn't it? So basically, it's like that, like a triangle way at the bottom on. And then you've got your vanishing point, which are here at your fingers. And then the light here comes down like that, so it looks like the ground's ramping up, like you said. And then it looks like the sky's ramping up, getting higher as it comes towards you above your head. It's just weird that it like comes down to a point, to the vanishing point. You've got that to look to deal with as well. So, and then you can only see so far. Once you see so far, you can't see any further because the atmosphere. Right? Yeah. So, angular resolution limit, diffraction, atmosphere, swells, waves, all explanations of missing parts of object. Exactly, Jeremy Brown. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's all it is. That's why these observations over water, they can be good, but they're not always that. I don't know, because they're all different, aren't they? They're all different. You can go different times of day, different days of the year, and you'll get a different result every time. Sometimes you'll see less because the ground will ramp up more. Sometimes you'll see more if it's lower tides and stuff like that, and if the atmosphere is different times of day and different days of the months of the year and stuff like that. And then you've got your swells and your waves. It's different all the time. It's ever changing. Now, one day you could go and you could see just a little bit at the top of a building. You could go a couple of weeks later and see 3/4 of the building. You know what I mean? It depends. Exactly, beyond belief. Yeah, cherry-picked picture proofs. Yep, that's all they rely on. They cherry-pick the pictures. They go out there and they take these globe earth religion defenders go out there and they take pictures and video, and they cherry-pick it. They like get the camera just at the right angle, or just the right height above the water surface and stuff like that, to be able to get more cut off and stuff like that, or to make it look like the pylons are curved and stuff like that. I've seen that one where you showed Lake Pontchartrain where the pylons are curving. You're like, well, hang on a minute. If that was really the curvature of the Earth, then the Earth must be tiny. The Earth must be small. It must be the size of America or something, or smaller. Because if you were to get that curve and carry it on around, it'd be tiny. So you can tell that's distortion, and that's cherry picked because he's got the camera at just the right angle to get that distorted image and stuff like that. Have you seen that experiment, Steve, where they try and fly a drone in a vacuum chamber? It doesn't take off, obviously, but a balloon full of air suddenly let go, did move. Rocket space. I've seen the one where I don't think I've seen that one with a drone. No, not in a vacuum. I saw one where they got a drone and they put it on the floor, and then they hovered it to about a foot off the floor, put a piece of cardboard underneath it, lifted it up like that, and the drone stayed a foot above the cardboard. They brought it back down a little bit, then they pulled the cardboard out, and the drone hit the floor, and then come back up and hovered back at a foot off the floor again, showing that it needs something to push off. a drone here on Earth needs something to push off. You need to be able to push off something. So in a vacuum, there's nothing to push off, is there? So the exhaust gases and the thrust coming out the back would just find equilibrium instantaneously. It just go throom, gone. It won't go and it won't be able to move anywhere because it won't push off anything. Because the thrust would come out the back and it'd just dissipate and just go into the vacuum. It'd just push out into the vacuum instantly, wouldn't it? Because it would try and find equilibrium with the vacuum to fill the void. Basically, it's like when you put a balloon, you fill it with a little bit of air, put it in a vacuum chamber, and you pump the air out of the vacuum chamber. The balloon starts to expand because the air in the balloon, the molecules of air in the balloon, are moving further and further apart, and they're trying to push out to fill that void. Yeah, fill the vacuum up again with air. So. Okay, Sandra. So yeah, so that's what had happened. That's when there's the Tesla car in space. I'm like, even I looked at that and I went, hang on a minute, them tires. No, fair enough, they might not have burst and popped, but the valve would have pushed out, right? And all the air would have escaped into the vacuum. Yeah. But then they go, oh no, the valves are already taken out. So why are the tires tight on the rim then? Why is there no gap between the tyre and the wheel? When you've got a tyre on a car and there's no air in it, the tyre's like moves about, doesn't it? And you can see a gap in between the tyre and the rim. It's not tight against the rim anymore when there's no air in it, right? But then they've got explanations for that. The mental gymnastics used for that. But then you've got the other one where he said it was just a normal car, right? But if it were just a normal car, then that means the seats would be foam, would they not? Would the seats not be foam? So, and then there'd be like leather or fake leather or PVC or whatever over the foam on the seats. We stitching, only sewn with stitches, right? With cotton, with thread, yeah. Well, would the foam not expand? Because there's little tiny air bubbles in foam, isn't there? So the foam would have expanded. So the seats would have burst open, would they not? And maybe even the dashboard as well. There's probably foam under that dashboard. So that had have popped open and burst open as well. Have you not seen the marshmallows in a vacuum chamber? When they suck the air out of the vacuum chamber, the marshmallows just expand, getting bigger. And as soon as they let the air back in again, they all shrink back down again. Right? Because it's pulling the air out of the little air holes in the marshmallows. Well, the foam would be the same. The foam's it's covered and filled with like little air pockets, little air holes. So the foam would have expanded. So the seats would have ripped. The dash would have ripped apart. The seats would have ripped apart. It's not rocket science, is it, really? I'm not saying that rocket science is not rocket science, is it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what would have happened. Fair enough, the tyres, yeah, they can argue as much as they want using mental gymnastics, but the seats, like I said, all they are is like foam seats with like fabric over the top or leather or whatever it is with stitching. So that foam would have expanded in the vacuum because the air would try to escape from the foam, so the foam would have expanded. So the seats would have ripped open. The stitching wouldn't have been able to hold that back. So, right, NASA spends billions developing special materials to withstand the harshness of space. Yeah, a normal car, yeah, no problem. Exactly. So it was just a normal car straight off the production line. He said they didn't even test it for space hardiness or anything like that. It was just a normal production car. Yeah, it's pseudoscience, not rocket science. Exactly. But why do people fall for that shit? They can tell it's not fucking real. You know what I mean? I was watching a thing the other day. I think we were on a flat Earth channel. We're doing something about, I can't remember what it's about now. They showed the ISS going over the CGI Earth, basically. And you could tell it was CGI because if you looked in the bottom corner of the ISS, you could see around the edge of the ISS, CGI image underneath was like distorting and rippling about and distorting when the ISS was moving over the CGI thing, where it like bled into it or something, and that it wasn't done properly. So someone should put foam in a vacuum chamber to demonstrate. Yeah, they should. Yeah, I haven't got a vacuum chamber. I don't know how I could make one either. I don't know. If I had the stuff, I could make one. I'd do one, but I'd get some foam from a car seat. I'd go down to the scrapyard and say, oh, "Have you got an old seat anywhere with a bit of foam from a car seat?" You know what I mean? And I put it in a vacuum and go, "Look, that foam's expanding, just like I expect it would." Needs doing. Need to do it. They lie about just about everything, yeah. Don't forget about the camera sending back video with its special battery and our very large memory stick with a super high powered Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What camera did they use? Because I want to know what camera they used, because what they call it, some scientists say that when you're in space it goes from like plus thousands of degrees or whatever it is to minus thousands of degrees centigrade and stuff like that, or hundreds of degrees centigrade and stuff like that, in the sun, in the shade and stuff like that. Temperature difference is so much. But I'm sure these cameras can't handle that type of temperatures. But then some scientists say, oh no, heat doesn't travel. Some of these globers say, oh no, heat doesn't travel through a vacuum. So if heat doesn't travel through a vacuum, so what happens then? So the sun's red hot, the heat leaves the sun, it's no longer there then, it just vanishes and disappears. And all of a sudden it's the Earth and it reappears again. So where does it go in between the sun and the Earth if it doesn't travel in a vacuum? I don't know. I don't get that. I think it might be something to do with, they might say that basically because the I don't know, because they can't even say that it's because air molecules are even further apart, because there is no air molecules, is there? It's in a vacuum. So when they tell you the truth, it's always so they can get a lie past you. Yeah, they mix a bit of truth in with mainly lies, isn't it? But they've got to put the truth out there. They don't put it out there to make it obvious. They put it out there. What's that? Seriously, they say space isn't a perfect vacuum. Well, that's changed, hasn't it? Because they used to say it were a perfect vacuum. Now they're saying it's not. Yeah, so even if it's not a perfect vacuum, it doesn't matter. It still do what happens here on Earth when you get a vacuum chamber here on Earth and you do these experiments in a vacuum chamber here on Earth. That's not a perfect vacuum either. So space has got to be more of a perfect vacuum than what it would be when you make your own vacuum chamber here on Earth. And if you get these things in less of a vacuum in a vacuum chamber here on Earth, a DIY homemade one, then I'm sure it'd happen more there, wouldn't it? So, welcome back, FTG. There's an SO garage by Saturn that has charging points. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They'd be trying that bullshit next. I know they're saying they're going to put mobile phone towers on the moon. I just can't fucking. You've got to laugh, haven't you? Because if you didn't laugh, you'd just fucking cry. You know what I mean? But yeah. I think it was Tony Dixon brought it up at the meetup on Saturday. A couple of good points, in my opinion, about the moon landings. He says, when they was on the moon and they left the perfect, like, defined tire tracks and the perfect defined footprints, says that wouldn't happen because you need moisture to be able to make perfect defined footprints and stuff like that, or perfectly defined tire tracks. You'd need moisture. Without moisture, it'd leave an indentation, but it wouldn't leave a perfectly defined footprint or tire track because you need moisture for that, right? And he says, "Oh well, these globies," he says, they bring up like the Sahara Desert or saying there's no moisture there and you can leave footprints there, but there is moisture there because there's moisture in the atmosphere no matter where you go. There's got to be moisture in the Sahara Desert, otherwise them animals that live in the Sahara Desert wouldn't be able to survive, would they? They've got to drink, so there's got to be moisture there. And then they say, oh, well, no, because you can do it with flour. Well, flour's got moisture in it because there's moisture in the atmosphere, in the air. And another one he brought up and all was when they show you the Earth rise from the moon, and you can see the horizon of the moon there, and then you see the Earth coming up here like this, right? Well, they landed on the Sea of Tranquility, didn't they? Which is the bit here facing the Earth, right? Even if it were like that, or even like that, it doesn't matter. If they're there, they're looking up. They'd have to look up at the Earth, wouldn't they? They couldn't look out at the Earth and see the Earth rising up like that, could they? They'd have to look up like that at the Earth because they was on the face of the Earth. And the face of the Earth is always, the face of the moon. So the face of the moon is always facing the Earth like that. Yeah. So if they're there like that, they'd have to look up to see the Earth. They couldn't see the Earth down there like that, could they? So anyone else watch anime? No, I've never really watched anime, to be honest. Just, I don't know, it's not been my thing ever, really. The spacesuits are supposed to be made from Gore-Tex. I've had a few Gore-Tex jackets and a bit of hot fag ash melts them. But the moon and spacewalks don't do fuck all to them. Exactly. Well, we know it's all bullshit anyway, you know what I mean? It doesn't, what they call it. I watch a lot of space live streams. I don't watch any space live streams. No, I used to believe in space and aliens and ancient aliens, all that shit. Not anymore. Went hard to let go. You know what I mean? So, oh, I see Eyes Wide Shut. How you doing? How you doing? What have we got here? So look what we're saying. It works off of implosion energy vector. Schamberger. We breathe in moisture. Can't survive in space with just pure oxygen. No, we can't, Sandy 123. You get oxygen toxicity if you breathe in pure oxygen for too long. But they turn around and say, oh, they do it at lower pressures. It doesn't matter. You're still going to get oxygen toxicity. Peter and Pete did a good video on that. Peter and Pete's channel. Let me just see if I can find it. I'll put a link to their channel in here now, so we can have a look. Where are we? Oh, they did a good one on. Let me just find it. Where are we? Here we are. Right, I'm going to put a link. Where is it? The one about videos. Where is it? The one about that. About what on earth? One small breath for man. One giant end game for the ball and melody. Here it is. Right. If I leave this link. Copy. Paste. The link to Peter and Pete's channel, the one about breathing oxygen and stuff in space and stuff like that. You won't be able to, basically, because you need air to breathe anyway. It's not oxygen, it's air. Because you need all the constituents of air to breathe in, to be able to breathe. Did you get any measurements right? What are you talking about? They are Sandy 123. Yeah, they are funny. They're singing. They've even got them blow up guitar now and a blow up microphone. Adds it all, I think. Says it all, I think. No, it's fine, Sandra. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't see you doing it because I was off the chat page thing. I was looking for that. Yeah, Peter and Peter do some good stuff. Ancient Aliens. I also let go along with Billu and the History Channel. What's this Billu? I keep seeing this Billu. I don't know what. I don't know. Well, children, let's teach you something. Who says FTG? You need to breathe in there's all the other gases you're breathing in all, you know. You need air to breathe. You need air because you can't just breathe pure oxygen. If you were to breathe pure oxygen and nothing else, it'd kill you. There's oxygen toxicity, it'd kill you. You need to breathe in all the other gases that are in the air as well. All the other apparent gases, like argon, all the other noble gases. The only space that exists is the one between deGrasse Tyson's ears. Yeah, that's the only space that exists. Apart from the space between me and somebody in the same room. That space exists, obviously. I think a lot of these globers, I think someone turned around the other day and says, why are you having it in, you meet up in Hincliffe Park? Is it because it's flat? But you want to have it in Graves Park because Graves Park's hilly and that and everything else. And you don't like hills and that because it's flat. No, we don't live on a piece of fucking paper. It's still topography. Still hills and valleys and mountains and all that shit. I think you were just taking piss, I think, having a laugh, I think. And you can't breathe pure oxygen. Kill you. Billu is the alien who the Brazilian scientists claim told them about the convex Earth. Caught on camera, so picture proof again. All right, Brian Bronskowitz. Right, okay. I know now, yeah. Yep. I used to follow Billu. Yeah. Thought it were real. No, I didn't know nothing about it, but I was joking. So Billu is the alien who the Brazilian scientists claim told him about the convex Earth. All right, okay, so that's why it was done then. I watched it and I thought, well, them experiments not bad, like, you know what I mean? But it's nothing that people like us haven't been doing for the last God knows how many years anyway. Do you know what I mean? Then they come out with that space fucking living on an asteroid bullshit. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Then I knew then it was all bullshit. It was just put out there to fucking ridicule, basically. To make us look stupid. Just like the Flat Earth Society is put out there to ridicule, to make us look stupid. Why else do you think, what do you call it? Kept saying it before he left office. I ain't got time for a meeting in the Flat Earth Society. Because they knew this was coming out and they knew that they had to put that into people's minds. So when people heard about Flat Earth, they'd go there, they'd see all the bullshit and they'd go, what a load of bullshit. And they'd all just not bother looking no more and turn away from it. So if there's any of you globers out there that are like listening to that bullshit, don't, because it's bullshit. Flat Earth Society. It's controlled opposition. Nobody here believes that the Earth is shooting up through space at 9.8 meters per second. Say that now. Do you know what I mean? But then you get all these channels trying to debunk it and that, saying, "Oh, well, if that happened and there were gravity, then this would happen." And the further you got to the edge, the more you'd be being pulled back. It'd be like you're walking up steeper and steeper uphill. Well, where the fuck are you getting that information from? Because you're just attacking a bullshit model. You're attacking bullshit. My electric skills aren't good. Right, Tamo. I used to be an electrician, mate. I used to do electrics. I used to be a sort of electrician. I've given you 2 tonight, Steve. I don't know who it was founded by beyond belief, but I just know it's full of bullshit and it's controlled opposition. It has to be, because why would Barack Obama keep saying, I ain't got time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society before he left office when they knew this subject was coming out? You know what I mean? It's to put that in people's minds so people remember him saying that. So when they hear the phrase Flat Earth, they all go to the Flat Earth Society then. And then they see all the bullshit on there. And then it puts them off looking because they're like, no, it's bullshit. That's not reality. That doesn't match reality and all that shit. You know what I mean? They are fakes, yes. But I've cited fakes, scammers. It's controlled opposition. It's bullshit. It's put there to put people off. Like I say, why else do you think these politicians were saying it all the time before they left office and stuff like that? Why do you think it gets mentioned all the time in the mainstream media and everything else? Because they want people to go there to look. They don't want people looking at channels like this and Beyond the Imaginary Curve and Harry Growler and Peter and Pete and all loads of other like genuine channels. You know what I mean? They don't want people looking at genuine channels and channels of people that are awake and critically thinking and not adopting any strawman map or model or anything like that. Because they know if people come across people like us, then they'll be like, well, hang on a minute. Do you know what I mean? They're making sense. So exactly. He didn't just say I ain't got time for a meeting in the Flat Earth. He said Flat Earth Society. Because like I said, they wanted people to go there. Because he's so prominent in that, and that would have been seen worldwide. So they knew that basically when people start looking into this, they'd remember him saying that. So they'd all go there. Good night, Andy, aka Rudolph Hessiansack. I think you need to shorten your name's a bit long. I'll just call you Andy. I'll tell you what, I'll just call you Andy, aka Acker. And like I said, that's why you see Flat Earth Society all over the mainstream and everything else. Whenever you see anybody mention anything to do with Flat Earth or anything like that on the mainstream, they always bring that up all the time. Because they want people to go there. It's not rocket science. They won't put it out there if it were something genuine. When they put it out there because they know it's not genuine and they want people to go there because they want to put people off looking. They want to keep people under that mind control, in that cult and in that religious belief of the heliocentric model. Do you think if they found out the governments of the world and the powers that should not be, or whatever you want to call them, or whoever's in charge or whatever, do you think if they found out that the Earth was flat after pushing the heliocentric model for hundreds of years or thousands of years or whatever, do you think they'd tell you? I don't think they'd tell you, to be honest. Of course they wouldn't. Because that they'd risk losing their power, their so-called power then, wouldn't they? Because who's going to want to do anything for them if everyone knew the Earth was flat? Who's going to want to go to war for them and kill and fight for them if everyone knew the Earth was flat? If they knew the Earth was flat and it had to be created by somebody and we was put here in a creation, then basically everyone would be like, well, hang on a minute. I'm not killing for you. I'm not going to war for you. It's wrong. Well, we know it's wrong anyway, but then these people that don't know it's wrong because they believe they live on a globe and there's no consequences to their actions and stuff like that. Well, I'm not saying there is consequences to our actions. I don't know. I'm just saying if the Earth is flat and it's created, there may be consequences to our actions. And if there is, and people thought that, then basically they'd be like, well, I'm not killing for anybody. I'm not going to war or doing this or doing that for you and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? So Oh, I'm getting tired now. Yeah, where's the way out? Might not be a way out. Might not be a way out beyond belief. Did Obama ever push the alien agenda? I think he sort of did, I think, didn't he? When he was in office and that, he were talking about, they were asking him on these talk shows in America about when they're gonna, what they call it, release the UFO stuff and that, and the alien like stuff and stuff like that, and when they're gonna have full disclosure on aliens and stuff like that. And he kept avoiding it a bit, but he were like joking about it a bit as well to make it look like it was sort of real and stuff like that. I think you were like doing that sort of stuff, weren't he? I know Ronald Reagan did it, and I know a few others did it as well, didn't they? In the past, a few other politicians have said, "Oh, I've seen UFOs and all this sort of stuff." But I'm sure they was asking him on these talk shows about it. I know they asked Clinton, was it Bill Clinton? They're asking him about it and all, weren't they? So when you got full disclosure and all this sort of stuff about it, UFOs and stuff. I'm sure they asked Obama and all. I don't want that song in my head all night. I've been noticing that I think in English. You think in English? No, I'm not English. You're not English, Tamo. My arms are itching like mad. Bloody blisters all over my arms from sun on Saturday. I don't go brown meat, so I just go red and I blister. Get loads of blisters. I don't know, Tom. It might be because do you speak English? You're typing in English, so do you speak English as well? Because if you speak English a lot, then your thoughts might be in English, you know what I mean? Coconut oil. I've got some coconut oil. I bought some when I made my own shampoo with some coconut oil, some cassia soap, cassia soap or something, and some rosemary oil and tea tree oil. What, Sandy, you think in a couple of generations it'll be done? I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime, sad to say. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see it in my lifetime. I really would. I really would. It's a good sun cream, right? Okay. Is it not an oil? Wouldn't it burn you more? Is it not like putting olive oil on you or something? I just didn't put no cream on. I didn't realise it was going to be that warm. Like I said, when I go out in the sun, I don't even go red anymore. When I was younger, I used to just go red, and then after a few days, I'd turn brown with sun, a bit of tan. But as I'm getting older, I just go red, and I just blister. Loads of little like spots, but they're blisters. So yeah, let's give them the best chance we can, Sandy. Yeah, you're right, beyond belief. We gotta try and do as much as we can in our lifetimes and try and get it in our lifetimes if we can. But if not, we need to pass this on to the next generation and get them to do it. No, the world is flat, Stargazer Jim. You step away from your religious nonsense. Your heliocentric religion. That's all you've got. Beliefs, assumptions, and logical fallacy, I'm afraid. Yeah, okay, I'll get my coat. Yeah. Oh, Stargazer Jim, you brought me back to the religious religion. I now again believe in your God gravity. All hail the God gravity. Oh, sakes, man. Stargazer gimp. Stargazer useful idiot. because he's more than likely educated in the Prussian education system, like I keep saying. Oh my God, that's not P. Mars, is it? Oh, I'm honoured. I'm honoured. Not. Oh, another useful idiot. Educated in the Prussian education system. They seem to be everywhere, don't they? These useful idiots. They're either useful idiots or they're pushing an agenda. It's one of the two. And they never admit to either, so they're doing one of them. There's only one or two things they can be, like I said. They're constantly using logical fallacy on that all the time. All I can manage to push from my lips is a stream of absurdities. Every word I intended to speak winds up locked in with gravity. No way to control it. La 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 la. Whenever Gimp's around. If isn't the problem, it's a symptom. The problem is anti-intellectualism. No, Stargazer Jim. The problem is useful idiots like you that are more than likely educated in the state education system. So you're educated in the Prussian mimicry system. You're taught what to think, not how to think. You're following a religion, pal. You're worshipping a false god. Not that I worship any gods, because I'm not religious, but you're worshipping a god, a false god. You're worshipping a religion, Stargazer Jim. That's all it is. It's all built on an assumption and a mathematical model. There's nothing tangible to it. You believe you live on a globe. Where's your proof? You haven't got any proof. The only thing you've got is mathematical equations. And I don't worship anybody, Stargazer Jim. I don't worship anybody. I'm my own man, thank you very much. I do what I want. I don't need anyone's permission or to worship anybody. It's exactly what you need to do. You need to show your tangible proof. You need to show your proof. The heliocentric model is the claim. I'm not making any claims here. You know what I mean? I'm not making any claims here, Stargazer Jim. You are. And the heliocentric model is the claim. That's been given to everybody. So the burden of proof is on you and your religion to prove your religion. Yeah, so it's little lights is in the sky. They've never been there. They've never seen them up close. They don't know what the fuck they are. They just fucking look up at the sky and they go, oh, look, call them a millions and billions and trillions of light years away. No, you're not living in a fucking sci-fi movie, Stargazer Jim. You're living in reality. You're not fucking Luke Skywalker. Use the Force, Luke. Use the Force. Come back down to Earth with the rest of us. Stop putting your fucking head in the clouds. Living on fucking Cloud 9. Or is it Cloud Cuckoo Land? I don't know. Not sure. Yeah, exactly. We don't live in the sky. We live here on a fucking Earth, not up there in the fucking sky. No matter what's going on up there. That's got no measurable proof of what's going on up there or what's happening down here. There's your red herring fallacy. Stargazer Jim. Looking up at the sky don't give you measurable proof of the Earth on which you're standing. They're just visibles in the sky. You don't know what they are. You know what you believe what you've been told they are. You've been told what they are, and you believe that. You don't know what they are yourself. You've never been there. You've never been up there. You know what I mean? Right, it's 1:30. Did the posh schools push religion as much as the council schools in the 70s and 80s? I don't know, Rab. I didn't go to a posh school. I went to a council school. I went to a state school. I was born in 1975, so was at school in like the 80s. We used to have a lot of assemblies and sing a lot of Christian hymns and stuff like that in assemblies when I was at school when I was in the 80s. Exactly. Where's your proof, measurable proof of your absurd beliefs, of your absurd claims? Everything you believe was built on an assumption, and then mathematics built around that assumption. You've got no measurable proof. Show me bodies of water. That curve. Show me at what scale does your so-called God gravity change the physics of water to allow it to curve, because the physics of water doesn't allow it to curve, I'm afraid. Water is formless. Even the word water comes from the word aqua, and the word aqua literally means even level surface. Look up the etymology of the word aqua. It means even level surface. So, high flat chord music. You show me a scale model. Oh no, don't tell me you can't. It's got to be Earth size, planet size. That's just pseudoscience if you can't show it practically. Show it me practically. Yeah. No, the proof isn't all around us, Stargazer Jim. You're probably just looking up at the sky and going, well, the other planets look round, so it looks spherical. So that means we must be spherical. No, that's just like saying, what they call it, the pool balls on a pool table are spherical, so the table must be fucking spherical. You know what I mean? Stupid. Plus, you don't look out your window into your garden to measure the contents of your living room, do you? You know what I mean? Looking up at the sky is not going to give you anything measurable. Because they're just, what they call them, lights in the sky. It's not going to give you anything measurable, is it really, to be honest? That's a red herring fallacy. Stick to the facts. The physics of water, how we produce and maintain air pressure here on Earth. Get me proud. Yeah. So, yeah. And stick to the facts. You know what I mean? Here on Earth. Not looking up at the sky. Little lights in the sky. That's not going to tell you anything. I used to like all that stuff and all the time. I used to like all that stuff and all the universe stuff and stuff like that. And I used to think, oh, aliens are real and all that shit. I mean, and oh, look, we're going up there and we're going to these planets and all this stuff. Then I woke up and I thought, what a load of bullshit. Your brain copies the shit, bro. Brian just like to run helicopters. Jamie nails Brian Cox. I didn't just keep looking at him, wondering if he evolved from a fish. Yeah. I think you might have a monkey as an ancestor, that Brian Cox. Fish lips is not genetic. Oh, God knows. Right. I think a monkey fish squirrel retard made you. I'm going to say my parents made me. Right, I've been on 3 hours. I'm going. It's 20 to 2 in the morning. I'm going to get off. I'm going to say good night. Yeah. Like I said, I don't subscribe to any map or model. I'm just here looking for proof. of the absurd claims of the heliocentric religion. I just don't want nothing to do with that religion, heliocentric religion, no more, and I don't want nothing to do with the cult of society no more. But obviously, we've still got to live in this cult of society, so we just have to try and get on with it and just try and distance ourselves from it as much as possible, and just like just don't believe anything that anyone tells you. Don't look for yourself. Don't buy into all the bullshit on mainstream media and the mainstream and stuff like that, because it's nothing but logical fallacy and bullshit. All right, everybody. Thanks for that earlier, Sandra. I'll have a look at that tomorrow night. I'm going to turn the computer off now and go to bed. Go for a cigarette and go to bed. Everyone has a good evening or afternoon, wherever you are. And stay safe, everybody. Good night.